Hi, everybody. Welcome back again. It's me, Morgan Wright, CEO and founder of OpenUnsolved.org, also the National Center for Open and Unsolved Cases. This is just another video explaining to you about how Holmes, our platform, is going to make a huge difference inside the National Center for Open and Unsolved Cases. And I say this based on experience, having been somebody who has tracked down fugitives. Sometimes I spent 2 years looking for one guy. And it was very difficult because it was hard to engage the public. But I found him. I found him. I was in Kansas. I found him in Texas through some innovative ways of looking at the data and what the data would tell me. So that's what I did. But that's what I want to share with you. I want to share with you today about how to find a fugitive. So traditionally, what happens is whether it's the FBI or my friends at the U.S. Marshals, they put out, they say, "Hey, look, we're looking for somebody," and then they put out a wanted poster, and then it falls off the face of the earth. I mean, I'm going to show you one here in a second, but kind of looks like this. I'll put it up on screen here in a minute, but it falls off the face of the earth, and it does not give you the information you need as somebody in the public to say, okay, what are all the other places I should be concerned about? Where's all the places I should be looking at? Let me give you an example. Let me show you exactly how this works. I'm going to sit over here like this, all right, so I can point actually this way, the other way, like that. I won't point to those things, but you'll be able to see those. So what you're going to see there is this actually came right off the U.S. Marshal site. Um, Tamara Williams, wanted since 2018. Right, folks, that's 7 years ago, going on eight. 7 years ago, they've been looking for this fugitive from justice. But what information do they give us to start off with? Okay, well, we have a picture and then some smaller pictures. Really kind of doesn't do her justice because it doesn't give me the context. Was there a bigger picture involved in this? I'm surely nobody took pictures and just sliced them up like that. So I'd like to have more pictures. I'd like to have more media. Of course, the face really helps. When you look at this, you start saying, all right, who am I looking for? But the bigger question is, where am I looking for this person? If I don't know where to look, everybody looks the same. So I want to be able to say, look, if I'm looking for a fugitive, give me some context. So when we look at this, let's see what they put on here. And some interesting information. We get an idea of the age, born in 79. So at the time this poster came out, it would make her 44. Gives you the race, sex, height, weight, hair and eye color, scars, marks, tattoos. So we know that T-A-T is tattoo. She's got a tattoo of roses on her upper left arm. But what does it tell us? Okay, where did this happen at? Well, they're saying they're looking for her. She was wanted by the Melvindale, Michigan Police Department. Okay, there's a location, but where? Where in Melvindale for the first degree? This is why she's on the U.S. Marshals 15 most wanted list for the first degree murder, dismemberment of a body, tampering with evidence, and felony firearm. She has reportedly shot her boyfriend, then dismembered his body and discarded his body parts along I-75 near Hancock, Ohio. There's another location. Okay, Williams is a trained phlebotomist, takes blood, and maybe working in medical clinics. Okay, where else? Where was she born? Where'd she go to school? Where is this phlebotomy thing? So here's what I did. I did a very simple using the power of just Grok. I have a premium subscription to X. So I went to Grok and I said, hey, Grok, here's what I have. I wrote a prompt, a pretty good prompt. So I wrote a prompt and I said, Grok, here's what I'm looking for. This is a fugitive. Grok is seeing a lot of my questions, so it knows what our Holmes platform is. I'm looking to develop all the potential locations our wanted fugitive may be associated with. So give me not only the location, but an approximate date, a point in space, right? Give me a date or a year that would tie that person to that location. So on here, all we have is Melvindale, Michigan. Okay, great. Where in Melvindale did it happen at? Um, uh, was near Hancock, Ohio, is where the body parts. Okay, great. And wanted in Wayne County, Michigan. All right. Well, doesn't really narrow it down. Wayne County is kind of big. So here's what I got. Let's take a look at this for a second. Um, she's a trained phlebotomist, right? So location of birth. And folks, I have done zero open source research yet. Done zero. All I did was put a prompt into Grok to help start pointing me in the direction. But imagine what I could do if I took this. And for you citizen case coordinators out there in law enforcement, using something like this to say, what are all the other locations that may be involved with this? So likely born in Detroit, Michigan. And that was based on a variety of sources out there. So the other thing, using AI to do it, allows me to go out and source all of these different locations looking for information about what's been written about her, what reporters have said. So, born on March 18th, 1979. While it's not specified, she's frequently described as being from Detroit, Michigan. Okay, has strong ties to the area. Pre 2018, before the murder and everything, she lived in Melvindale, Michigan, which is okay, great. But we're in Melvindale. Well, guess what? Which is a suburb of Detroit, residing at the Garden or Gale Gardens apartment. Aha, Gale Gardens apartment. Now I can assign an address to Gale Gardens apartment. And then that is from a law enforcement or a citizen case coordinator standpoint. I put a pin in the map in Gale Gardens apartment, and I can now draw a radius around that 1 mile to 5 miles, whatever you want to do. The bigger the town, the more you got to worry about getting polluted with pinging people in certain areas in certain towns, especially like New York City. You go outside a couple miles, it's really a whole. I mean, it's obviously a big city, but it's a whole different city. But that's going to be up to you. You set your radius, right? So that's a place I could say now. What are the chances that somebody that used to live at Gale Gardens apartment next to her, but moved away before she killed the boyfriend? Well, alleged to have killed the boyfriend because she's got um, a warrant out for her arrest, allegedly to kill the boyfriend. Where was she at before that 2018? So now, if you moved away, you probably and moved to California, you might not have any idea she's wanted for murder. But now you would get a ping because if you live in California now, but you used to live in Gale Garden Apartments, you could say, "Hey, here's one of the locations I've lived." Now you get a ping that says, "Hey, you citizen, person who signed up on the citizen site says you might be connected to this case because guess where else? She also went to a phlebotomy school. Where? Well, we'd have to do a little bit more digging, but it does make some assumptions. So, phlebotomy training programs are commonly offered at community colleges, vocational schools, or medical training centers. Guess what? Now I've got a place to start looking at not only there, but in anticipated locations she might be. I can put that as a pin of investigative interest and say, hey, she might be here. So now we can start looking at it from a relation standpoint. What kind of relation does she have? She's related to the field of phlebotomy. I can now start looking at, well, if I think she might be in Atlanta, which we'll get to here, I could put a pin around some of these phlebotomy centers. Say, hey, you may be connected to this case because the person we're looking for also is a phlebotomist and maybe doing work on the side for cash doing phlebotomy. September 2018, Melvindale, Michigan. So that's the crime scene. She dismembered his body and disposed along parts near I-75 near Hancock, Ohio. There's another place, right? Did she just toss them, fling them out the window, or did she maybe toss them into a ditch, stopped at a rest area, truck stop, whatever the case might be? But those are some other things we could do. October 16th, 2018, Ann Arbor, Michigan was her last known sighting. There we go. There's another location. Did you see that in the this? No, you don't get any of this information. Chicago, October 17th to 18th, she reportedly took a train from Ann Arbor to Chicago. There you go. Now you've got the train stations in each of those areas. New York City, last confirmed sighting, probably Penn Station. I've been through that one before several times. So checked into the Neptune Hotel. There you go, Neptune Hotel. There's yet another location that I could put a pin in a map, and anybody who's ever been associated around Neptune Hotel would get a ping to say, hey, here you go. She was spotted on camera leaving the hotel on October 18th, 2018. That marked her last confirmed sighting. Post October 2018, Brooklyn, New York, possible locations. They tracked her to Brooklyn in 2019 based on her travel patterns, but has not been seen since. So we could do some more research to say where in 2019. Possible connections. Now, here's the other thing, too. She is a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. It's a co-ed fraternal organization associated with the Freemasons. I'm a Mason myself. York, right? For those of you in the know out there. But there's another place, right? Where are some of these Eastern Star locations at? That could be another place around Atlanta. I could put a pin in a map, draw a circle, and anybody connected that would get information about that. And she may have been in Atlanta, though no specific evidence confirms this. Atlanta is noted as a possible location due to her ability to blend into large urban areas. So we have everywhere from Michigan to Ohio to Atlanta to Brooklyn. I mean, the train stations, the hotel, all of these things that are not contained in this, but we have here, can actually go into HOLMES now and can make a difference about what's in there. So This is just one way to do this. This is just one neat way to think about, hey, how do we think about differently? All of these locations, I probably came up with 10 to 12 locations where there was only really two on this wanted poster right here. This gives more opportunities for citizens to participate in finding these fugitives. And guess what? What are the chances that you're going to know about this person? You're out in Los Angeles, but you know, you stayed at the same hotel. What are the chances you're going to hear about this case? If she shows up knocking on your door asking for money, how would you even know she's wanted? Well, this is one of the ways you find out. So, this is how you shrink the world. This is how you make it smaller. This is how Holmes will make a difference in the world. So, the way you find out more, go register openunsolved.org. We're doing a demo on July 30th from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're so inclined, become one of our beta testers. You'll get early access. We'll show you how the portal works, all of that good stuff. So, until then, let's fight some crime, stay connected to the case. Go to openunsolved.org. I'll see you on the next call.